Hey guys, welcome back. It's Memorial Day weekend. We've been busy outside getting a lot of stuff done, but we also took a couple trips out to Ebert's Greenhouse Village and Heritage Hills Nursery. We picked up a bunch of new stuff. I'll take you on those trips, show you everything we picked up, and then we're going to get it in the ground. All right, so let's get moving. Now, these are a Fire Chief Arborvitae, and they're supposed to be a red colored Arborvitae, but these are actually dead. So we're going to dig these up and take these back. This is what our NC Mugo Pine should look like, and this is what the other one looks like. So we're going to dig this one up and take this one back as well. Now we're going to take both of these back to Heritage Hills Nursery and see what else they have. These are the Fire Chief Arborvitae we picked up before, but I think we're going to go a different route. I think we're going to go with this Night Glow Durvilla. While walking around, this lemony lace elderberry really caught my eye. After much deliberation, I think we're only going to get the Dwarf Mugo Pine and the Night Glow Durvilla for now, but we will probably end up coming back. There's a lot of things that are really catching our eye. Now that once we're back, we were looking at everything and get ready to put it into the ground, and we noticed that we got a Dwarf Mugo Pine, not an NC Mugo Pine. And the difference is pretty significant, at least in their width. I know that the NC gets to be about 5 feet wide total, but the Dwarf Mugo Pine can get up towards of 10 feet. And that's just too big. So I'm going to head back there. I'm going to see if they have any more NCs. If not, I'm going to be picking up another Dwarf, and then we're going to be moving some things around and see if we can make it all work. So let's get going back. So I looked through all of the Mugo Pines, and they don't have any more NCs, so I'm picking up another Mugo, or picking up another Dwarf. And we're back here looking at this again. The lemon lace elderberries. I think we're going to end up getting 2 of these and checking them out. It's Memorial Day weekend. The weather is absolutely beautiful and the boys are out here running wild. I'm going to try to get some weeding done while Michelle is out at Ebert's Greenhouse Village looking around and picking up a few things.
frog and peed all over me now. Okay. Oh no!
Now that all the weeding is done, we have this bare soil. We want to get it covered so we don't have more issues with weeds. So we went out to Lueder's Lawn Seeding and Trucking, and we're going to be picking up a black environmental mulch. To pick up our last load of mulch at our local landscape company, Leaders. We are going to be picking up, this will be our 6th yard of the black mulch that we're going to be putting in the front garden bed. I think that's going to be it. We've had a lot of hiccups today. I expected this all to be picked up and done before 4 o'clock, giving myself about 3 hours to pick everything up and drop it off and go back for more. But what I didn't account for is 1, lunch, 2, needing gas, and 3, getting a piece of shrapnel or metal stuck in a tire and having a flat. So we had to make a couple stops and take a couple breaks to make sure we had everything going for us. So we're heading back for our last trip. It is 4:45. They close at 5 o'clock. We'll settle our tab and get everything situated and get back and start laying everything out. All right, let's get going. Now we're trying to spread the mulch as quick as we can. We're starting to lose light, and as it gets darker, it gets difficult to distinguish between what's soil and what is mulch. So we'll take an assessment in the morning. Come morning, we found that we were very short on mulch, so we ordered another 14 yards from Leaders, and we'll be using this not only to finish this garden bed, but the rest of the yard. Now that we got everything mulched, it's time to put everything we got from the nurseries into the ground. So I'll show you what we've got and where we're placing it. Alright, first up is our Allium. We already have some of these in here and they're doing really well, so we want to continue that and add some more. And this one is called Medusa. It's an ornamental onion that reaches 20 to 24 inches tall, spacing about 24 inches apart, and it needs full sun to part shade. They're good for zones 4 through 8, and they bloom this beautiful purple color in late summer and early fall. Now we're going to continue with things we know work in this area, and this one's our penstemon. This variety is called Dakota Burgundy. They are a compact and very hardy plant. They get to be about 12 to 14 inches tall and 18 to 20 inches wide, and they're good in zones 3 through 8. This variety's foliage is very dark with purple to black leaves, but contrasts nicely with their lavender colored flowers that we get in summer. The next one is new to us. This is a Durvilla. This is night glow. It gets to be about 2 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet wide. It requires full to part sun and thrives in zones 3 through 8. The foliage on here is a dark green and reddish color, but as we get closer to fall, the red really starts to intensify, which is very interesting because it has these yellow flowers that we get in late spring and summer and fall if properly cared for, which contrasts nicely against the foliage. Now this variety is deer resistant and great for pollinators. Next up is our Ignatia. We do have some of these in another area of the garden, but not all of them came back. This variety is called Powwow White. It gets to be about 24 inches tall, about 12 to 16 inches wide. They need full to part sun. Now this variety has a very nice, beautiful white bloom that blooms from the summer all the way into the fall, and the hardiness zones are 4 through 9. Now we're moving on to our evergreen shrubs. This is a Mugo Pine. Last year we planted the NC Mugo Pine, which only gets to be about 3 to 5 feet wide, but this variety, the dwarf Mugo Pine, gets to be a little bit wider, reaching almost 10 feet wide. Now we're using the Mugo Pine as a foundation plant in the background, so it's going to provide a wall of color that's going to be maintained year round. Next up is our Indian Summer Black-Eyed Susan. This is going to go up in the front of the garden to replace the coneflowers that didn't come back last year. Now this variety blooms in summer. It gets to be about 36 to 42 inches tall with a spacing of about 24 inches. They're great in our zone. They're great for pollinators and they're deer resistant. Last up is our catmint. This is Walker's Low. It reaches a height of 18 to 24 inches tall, which is nice because where we're planting them, we do not want to obstruct this window. It's a south-facing window, so we want to get as much light in this room as we can. Now, they do start to bloom in late spring and into the autumn. They are hardy from zones 4 through 8. Alright, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to move the blue spruce and switch it out with the Harry Lauder's walking stick. Now the blue spruce gets to be fairly big at 10 to 12 feet tall and it gets to be fairly wide. What we don't want, because it's right near that window, is to block your view for that south facing window. The same reason why we planted lower shrubs over here. And with the variety of the Harry Lauder's walking stick, we have the ability to trim that up to be more of like a tree. So what we can have is you'll be able to sit in that window, look out, and see underneath the Harry Lauder's with an unobstructed view. Now we're doing this with these plants because they are so young. They're just over a year old, so they should be able to root themselves pretty easily into the ground so they can establish themselves and have time to adapt and grow since it's early enough in the growing season. All right, guys, so that is it. Everything is in the ground and the mulch is down. I think this black mulch was an excellent choice. It really makes all of the plants really pop. It makes everything seem a lot more vibrant, especially once all the weeds are gone. Now, that is not it. We still have a lot more to cover, ground to cover. We do have a lot more mulch to put down. So stay tuned for those videos. We have new garden areas that we're going to be planting and a lot of work ahead of us. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.